Honk. Honk. Well, I'm on my daily walk, about 4 miles, 5 maybe, just to get some exercise. It's early in the morning, it's 7:30. The day hasn't warmed up yet, so it's a bit chilly, but it's not too bad. I've heard some geese. There's geese and swans and ducks and other life. Whoop. Down here. Hardly any people. You wouldn't believe this was the centre of a industrial area. The canals here are one of the best kept secrets. Honestly. The old industrial architecture, not a lot of it left now though, unfortunately. Used to be factories and warehouses all along here, but now most of it's gone. There's still a few bits and pieces here and there. I do like industrial architecture, especially from the 1800s. So this is the Leeds and Liverpool Canal. It runs from the west coast, where I am, in Liverpool, right over the country, over the mountains, down to Leeds, and then down to Hull, I think. Oh, we need to stop 5G. Well, 5G. I mean, I've worked in the mobile industry for years, and 4G is fast enough. Don't need 5G, don't need the expense, don't need the possible danger. Why do we need 5G? For our everyday lives, 4G does fine, and let's face it, everybody has Wi-Fi to some extent, either at work or at home. Don't know. It's just one of those things that they want to spend millions on, billions even. It's not really needed. You can improve 4G to a large extent. So, what's happening? Well, we're still in lockdown. We're allowed to go out and get food, we're allowed to exercise. I come down here because, as you can see, it's dead quiet. This is one of those places where for a long time I didn't even know this existed. I knew there was a canal. I didn't think there was a good path, and it's flat, it's long. Anyway, somebody's coming up and I always feel embarrassed filming. So yeah, the Leeds and Liverpool Canal. There are probably thousands of miles of canal in our little island, because when the Industrial Revolution started, which was in the 1700s, horse and cart just couldn't deal with the amount of products being made, the traffic, and the roads certainly couldn't deal with it. So what they did was they built thousands of miles of canals very quickly indeed, called navigations. And then as time goes on, manufacturers could get their product, especially things like pottery, to the ports and to the towns without it being broken, because barges used to go along here with the raw materials and all that stuff, and it's nice and smooth. It's very slow, of course, because originally they were horse-drawn barges that walked along these canal paths, pulling the barges behind them. They're called narrow boats because they built these things so quickly and so cheaply, relatively. They had to build them quite narrow. It's expensive, you know. So the boats are quite narrow as well. They're very long. They're like 70, 80 feet long, but they're very narrow. And that happened from the late 1700s right into the 1800s. And now they're not used as much, but they're still used for, you can go on holiday on these things, on boats and narrow boats, converted narrow boats and stuff. So how are you doing? Morning. Have a nice evening. Gotta be careful, geese. They have a habit of chasing you if you're not careful. So, yeah, let's have a look over there. See there? There's houses over there, but all this land is gone now. There was factories and all sorts of things. It isn't a bad thing in some ways because they were run down, falling to bits, because they weren't used for years. Oh, where was I? Oh yeah, the canals. So yeah, that helped the industrial revolutions hugely, the canals. Raw materials coming into the country, product going out. It wasn't fast, of course, because the horse-drawn. And then steam arrived. That really sped up the industrial revolution enormously. Got some seagulls buzzing around. And there's one thing that the canals couldn't deal with, that the railways or the canals couldn't give, that the railways could. I mean, obviously when steam came in, all the narrow boats converted the railways could provide something that the canals couldn't. And even with the narrow boats converting to steam and speeding up the whole process quite a bit, the railways gave speed, enormous speed to get, well, to get the country moving. At that time, no country in the world travelled at the speeds we did in the UK. That's amazing. And over the years, of course, because of railways and because of the speed that boats could go along the canals, they weren't used as much, even though they'd built thousands of miles of the damn things. Anyway, we're going on a walk. So we're doing about 4 miles today, I think. That'll be enough, I think. Some old ones here. That one probably dates from the early part of the century that's been converted. Yeah. I've been on a few holidays with these. Well, not these particular ones, but narrowboats. Hard work, I tell you that. Very hard work. Here we're at Litherland. That's the old red line up there. And we're standing on what used to be the lift bridge. It was a bridge that lifts to allow boats through, but now, of course, there's this much faster bridge. And over there is the gateman's, or the lift bridge man's cottage. So let's go. Like a scene from the movie The Birds. So we're just going to come off the canal for a while and I'll show you something that is quite rare these days. Open land over here. Not as big as it used to be, I'm sure. But this is what they used to call, let's get up there. Oh, This is what they used to call common land. So if you had a few sheep, geese, whatever, cows, you could bring it here free of charge and just allow them to graze. And it was common to all. Now it's just used for bikes and dogs and all that sort of thing, you know. But you don't see this very often. It's all been encroached upon, of course, but a lot of people would see this as wasted land nowadays, of course. But hundreds and hundreds of years ago, it was used.